I hope you're having a great day wherever you are. Today, the main question I want to answer is, should you buy Bitcoin now that it is rising rapidly and now is 7,000 level, right, and above? So, first, to answer that, let's look at this chart, yeah. There is people, right, TradingView have actually looked at this chart and we see a very similar pattern between Bitcoin and gold. Bitcoin currently and gold back in 2005, where it is a similar pattern emerging, right? Something called a golden cross, and the prices of Bitcoin just crossed over the golden cross, right? And that's why it makes this intersection between this purple line and the yellow line, right? And if it is true that this pattern plays out, then Bitcoin price is expected to be like gold, right? It will just shot up across, right? And following this trend very similarly. Now, no one really knows what that is, but there are now anyway a lot of fundamental reasons, right, to show that we are going very, very strong momentum. This is just in early May this year. May 4th, 2019, we have already the Belarus president, right? A lot of governments actually coming in, and FOMO, fear of missing out, right, into Bitcoin and crypto. So we have Belarus president proposes a giant data center for Bitcoin mining. That was in early 2019. May 2019. Again, this is the first time we have ever heard a government, right, actually so pro mining Bitcoin, yeah. Next, we also have two governments, Afghanistan and Tunisia, right? Their central bank are actually seriously considering to be the first one, right, racing to have the first crypto bond in the form of their sovereign crypto bond. Not too sure how this is going to really work, right? Because if prices of Bitcoin were really to go up, at what price they're going to pay back people in, yeah. But regardless, that's something that they are thinking of. And again, right, this just means that they do really see the potential. And of course, one key reason behind why Afghanistan is thinking of using crypto to issue their bonds is because, right, they cannot access the international capital market. Because there were a lot of sanctions placed on them, right? They cannot issue USD or Euro bonds, right? Or the major fiat currencies bonds easily, but they can now use crypto because it is not censored by anyone, right? So on the consumer front as well, right, we now have, right, just because of the innovator, right, team, Moon, right, is a browser extension that basically allow anyone now, right, to pay using their Bitcoin via Lightning Network in Amazon, which is of course the king of retailer online. Though Amazon is not accepting Bitcoin, they are converting at the back end to from Bitcoin to fiat. But regardless, it is now still it is the first time where anyone can actually spend their crypto easily, right? And especially at Amazon, the biggest chain of online retailer. So that brings us to the next data as well, right? This is by Data Light, again in April 2019, where they issue a report that shows, right, that Bitcoin, despite just being 10 years old, right, it is much younger compared to the giants and incumbents of payment today, Visa, MasterCard, and PayPal. The average transaction volume in Bitcoin totally dwarfed the rest, right? You can see here in this chart where Bitcoin average transaction volume is above 40,000, whereas Visa, Master, and PayPal is less than $100, right? That means basically Bitcoin is very, very useful to pay, especially for large ticket items. Why? Because it is very good for cross-border, very, very instant speed, and more importantly, very, very low fees. This is despite it being 10 years old, right? While Visa, and Master, and PayPal is way, way older. And not only that, Bitcoin currently at its current state still have so much issues in terms of the timing, right? The transaction speed, but already in terms of average transaction volume, it already win them hands down. So now then, back to the question. So having said all that, right, to answer the question of should you still buy Bitcoin now, my opinion, not financial advice, I want to make clear that is that, right, if it were me, really, if I do not have any Bitcoin before this, I will still buy at this point. Just because of maybe you are being new in this space, you are really heard of it now because now is a rally starting again, right? That you may not know all this, but having what I said just now, one of the technical analysis is proving in the right direction that golden cross, if it really follow the same pattern like gold, right, We do not know how high it can climb. So some people say even it can easily shoot past the previous peak of 20,000. Again, this is not financial advice, right? Second and third is all fundamental reasons, right? We have seen a lot of governments that definitely are wanting to get into this Bitcoin mining and also issuing first bonds in crypto, right? First government bonds in crypto. And then of course you see the transaction being very, very well received, and also it is now very easy to spend your Bitcoin. And on top of that, institutional investors are also very, very pro this space. Why? Because Fidelity, TD Ameritrade already offering a crypto custody and crypto trading, yeah. And not only that, Fidelity also interviewed their institutional clients, and this include pension funds, right? Don't forget. And 22% of them already have crypto, yeah. And of course, they have definitely quite a bit, yeah. And not only that, so a high percentage of them, right, 20 to 40% will increase their holdings in Bitcoin over the next few years, yeah. So then, no, so again, based on all this, my opinion is that it's still a good time to go in if this is your first time ever coming into this space. Then the question is, if it is a good time to go in, not financial advice again, how much then is an amount that is optimal to have if you are really new to this space? Firstly, if you are really new to this space, right, you should only go into Bitcoin first. Do not split, do not dilute your holdings even further, right? Because why? Because Bitcoin is the oldest blockchain, oldest crypto available, and because of that, it is also the strongest, right? Each day that Bitcoin survive is basically it actually wins all its opponents or its haters hands down, yeah. And why? So how much then you should have? Based on this analysis, it shows that you should at least have 0.28 or round it up, right, 0.3 units of Bitcoin, and at current price of about $7,000, that's about $2,000 investments, right? Now, why 0.3 is basically based on the fixed amount of 21 million unit of Bitcoins ever will be, right? And divide by the number of people in this world, which is 7 billion people, right? And then that is just the amount that's estimated by former Google product director Steve Lee, yeah? So you can see, and if you have 0.3 units of Bitcoin, you are among the 1%, the top 1% of population. That means you are way better off than 99% of the world, right? So I think 0.3, if you can afford it, is a good number, right? Now, again, of course, we're in May now. A lot of people will have gotten their bonus already, right? And if you have not spent it on other idiotic things, right, like just material things that will not appreciate you. In fact, the moment you buy it, just depreciate immediately, like handbags, right? Like normal watches, apart from Rolex, or cars and all these things, right? It definitely cost you more than $2,000, right? Or a nice holiday, right? Or some clothes, all these things, right? Those are definitely things that will not appreciate, right? The moment you buy it, you're actually depreciating straight away. And why not park that money? Why not consider park that money into Bitcoin instead? Again, not financial advice, right? But just that if this is a question posed, this is the potential answer that I will give that, and this is what I will do, right? If just giving my example, not financial advice, right? But so with that, I will end it here, and hope you're having a great day. If you like this, please subscribe, right? Leave me a like, and speak to you tomorrow. Thank you so much for your time.